Welcome to The Shoreline, brought to you by Shores and Islands, Ohio, where finding your Lake Erie love is a sure thing. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Jill Bauer, PR Manager for Shores and Islands, Ohio. We bring you The Shoreline every week to give you the inside scoop on what's happening here in our island and coastal communities. Welcome to our new fans and followers. We've seen our downloads and subscribers growing tremendously over the last few months, and we thank you for listening. Welcome back to The Shoreline as we continue through the month of May. All of this month's episodes are brought to you by Ghostly Manor Thrill Center and Goofy Golf. Looking for nonstop fun in Sandusky? Ghostly Manor Thrill Center has 10 exciting attractions, including roller skating, bounce houses, 3D blacklight mini golf, and more. Open daily at noon. Ghostly Manor, where the fun never ends. Find details online at ghostlymanor.com. Today, we're talking a little bit more about the Shores and Islands, Ohio organization and with some of our tourism partners who you will hear later in the episode, as we are coming off of our annual meeting, which was held just a few weeks ago at the Liberty Aviation Museum in Port Clinton. Our entire team got to share our 2024 accomplishments and a little bit more about what each of our department and our organization is responsible for. I had the honor of sharing a video compilation highlighting our annual media marketplace with friend of the podcast, Christine Crawford of Beagle Bay Knotworks. If you didn't listen to that episode, it was a couple weeks back, please go back and listen to that. And the video also shared highlights from the first season of The Shoreline. So first today, I have invited Shores and Islands, Ohio President Larry Fletcher to join us to chat about that event. A proud graduate of Bowling Green State University, Larry Fletcher has been in the travel and tourism world for more than 27 years, with a little more than 19 at the helm of Shores and Islands, Ohio. Please welcome back to the podcast, Mr. Larry Fletcher.
Hello, everybody. Good to be back with you, Jill.
So, as mentioned in the intro, we are coming off our 2024 annual meeting, which was themed Propelling Progress. Tell us a little bit about what we were able to share with our local tourism community partners and what Propelling Progress means to you.
Yeah, well, it was definitely an appropriate theme, Propelling Progress, for the location for our meeting at the Liberty Aviation Museum. And when we came up with that theme, certainly it fits the venue, but it's all about how the work of our staff team in conjunction with our partners from across the region and guidance from our board and committee members helps to continue driving the tourism economy forward in the region. And, when I think back about the partnership of Shores and Islands, which, really was started in 2007 was the first year of the two bureaus working collaboratively as one organization. And each year we continue to find more ways to propel the tourism industry in the region forward. And that increases progress throughout the region in many ways. So it all fit together nicely.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. And not only did we get to share our progress, but how what we do helps propel our partners. So that was, very meaningful for everybody in the room, I think. What were some of the highlights for you, Larry, of this year's meeting?
Well, it's always nice to see the variety of attendees, the guests that represent our businesses and communities from across the region, elected officials, of course, all of our staff team members and many of our board members in attendance. So it's always good to see that variety of the stakeholders that we represent all together in one place at one time. And then, being in the Aviation Museum, we did have a number of things that had to do with aviation. The meeting was kicked off with a representative of the Tri-Motor Heritage Foundation, a gentleman named Jody Brausch, who talked a little bit about the history of the facility there, and also the Ford Tri-Motor, the airplane that used to be the commercial airliner for much of the country and got people back and forth from the mainland to the island in this area. So he opened up the meeting, and then I talked a little bit in my introduction about some of the aviation leaders that are from Ohio and referenced, of course, Neil Armstrong and what a lot of people probably didn't know, which was that his first ride on an airplane when he was 6 years old was on a Ford Trimotor down in Warren, Ohio.
I liked that little touch.
Yeah, and then we also being here in the Port Clinton area, we really wanted to honor Lieutenant Colonel Harold Brown, who is a local and American hero as one of the Tuskegee Airmen. And Dr. Brown went on into education after he retired from the Armed Forces. He passed away a couple years ago, but his legacy lives on strong with special display area at the museum and a memorial statue that everybody that came to the meeting walked right past as they came in through the doors. So those are some of the high points from the meeting, of course. And then the award winners, that's always a special time of the meeting, too, and we celebrate our Destination Enhancement and Shore Award winners. So it was great to be able to do that again.
Yeah, that's always a highlight for me as well. And we should probably mention our Destination Enhancement Award winner this year was African Safari Wildlife Park. If you're not familiar, we have had them on the podcast before, and you can go back and listen and learn a little bit more about them. But they've done some amazing things, not only with animal conservation, but just for the tourism community in general. And they've done some enhancements over the last year or so, utilizing the Shores and Islands grant program, which we've talked about before. And then we also have the honor of giving out some hospitality awards. We call them the Shore Awards. And this is where our partners have the opportunity to nominate their team members as, potential award winners and folks that, just kind of live that customer service lifestyle and provide exemplary service. We had 2 winners this year, Stephen Schuster from the Sandusky Bay Pancake House and Kippy Laughlin from Erie Metro Park. So it was a lot of fun to see them recognized at the event. And I think that, of course, they enjoyed being recognized and their teams especially enjoyed seeing them recognized. So if you're a partner and you're listening, please consider nominating some of your team for next year's Shore Award. So some of the things that we did at the meeting, which we did it a little bit differently this year by getting our entire team involved and doing more of a multimedia presentation, but we went over a lot of our achievements for the 2024 calendar year. What are some of those achievements, Larry, that you are proud of as far as Shores and Islands goes?
All of them.
Okay, highlight some of your favorite. What are your best?
Proud of all of them, but yeah, certainly this event gives us an opportunity to highlight some of the many ways that we help support the tourism industry in the region. Anything from some of the metrics we track, such as how many sessions took place on our website in 2024, which was 2.2 million, number of times that people came to our website and then went from our website out to one of our partner websites, which is very important to us to make sure that we're not only bringing people to our website, but then helping them find the things they're looking for and then getting them introduced to our partners by linking them out to those websites. And that was 360,000 outbound clicks in 2024. We talk about, again, hearing from the team members themselves about some of the successes in attracting groups to the region, meetings, conferences, youth sports teams. So, for example, more than 400 different leads for group business were fielded by our group sales team last year. And they engaged with 218 groups that were holding events here in the region. And that means they provided some level of service to them, such as welcome bags or being there with an information table, a variety of services. Talked about our grant programs and how many different organizations and businesses we are able to help with funding their different destination development and events in the region, and those types of things. So it's just that information is available on our website in a special place where people that want to see all those different metrics that we tracked last year are contained.
Yeah, I would add to that my favorite part was just the fact that it was so kind of multimedia. We had some video components and we had some live interview with partners components, and we even did a live interview with our mobile van.
Yes, that's true. There was Vanna did get interviewed and had some of the the biggest laughs of the night came from a vehicle. So
Yeah. So for our listeners who maybe don't know, we have a mobile van that goes out into the community to events. We take our Shores and Islands van, who we affectionately call Vanna, to fairs, festivals, events, and things like that. And the van opens up, and it is just like a mobile welcome center. We've got brochures. We always have a fun prize wheel so people can get, cool Shores and Islands, items that they can take home with them, just to remind them of how fun the region is. And we can, help people out with places to go, things to do, restaurants to eat in, marinas to take your boat, all of those kinds of things. And that van, I believe, is scheduled for at least, was it more than 40 or 50 events this year?
Yeah, more than 40. More than 40 are on the calendar right now, and so Vanna's going to be putting on some miles here across the region this summer. So make sure to keep your eyes open for that. And I cannot be on this podcast and not mention another statistic that I'm very proud of, which is the podcast downloads from 2024. Of course, we've eclipsed this number already, quickly in this new year, but we reported that there were more than 5,600 downloads of this podcast in 2024 and about 1,600 subscribers, and that number has increased dramatically just in the first few months of this year. So great job to you, Jill, and thank you to all those who tune in to hear this podcast.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed talking to folks at the annual meeting. We had a lot of partners, but we also had a lot of destination partners, like our friends from Destination Toledo and Cleveland and Fremont, and a lot of folks that came up to me and said, I listened to the podcast, or I listen, maybe not regular, but, they would mention different episodes that they heard, and partners that have been on the podcast that thanked us for having them on. And yeah, that makes me feel really good. And, after only one season, and as you mentioned, we are off and running and just, like you said, eclipsing those stats. So again, I will reiterate, thank you for all of you folks that are listening, and please continue to do so. There'll be so much more coming out, and that's actually one of the things that you then, Larry, got to come back to the stage at the close of the annual meeting to share some of what we have to look forward to. So what, for 2025, from a destination perspective, are you most looking forward to?
For the past several years, I've included in the annual meeting presentations what's new coming online in the area for that year, or opportunities that came online over that previous year for our guests and residents to enjoy. And so in that segment this year, there were everything from, of course, Siren's Curse, the new roller coaster at Cedar Point, to a new water slide and some new restaurant opportunities over at Kalahari. We have a couple new hotel properties that will be coming online this year, one in Port Clinton and one over in the south part of Sandusky in Perkins Township, or maybe it's even Huron Township. There are new restaurants opening up in the region. There are new additions at attractions like African Safari Wildlife Park, which again received a Destination Enhancement Award, and one of the things they did was enhance some of their educational opportunities with some new wildlife species, including a two-toed sloth, and also they have some capybaras that people can learn about and interact with. So those are new opportunities available, and it's a very long list. I was able to highlight about a dozen things during the presentation, and there were at least 24 additional that I really didn't have time to go into the detail on. So This area continues to expand. There's a great spirit of entrepreneurship and partnership and people investing to continue to bring people to this one of the most visited destinations in all the Midwest.
Absolutely. And so, folks, if you want to hear more about some of those new things, we actually do have a full list of all of the new things coming online in 2025 on our blog. If you go to shoresandislands.com and click on the blog, you can see kind of what's new for 2025 and some of those things that Larry mentioned and highlighted. Larry, is there anything else that you'd like to share about our annual meeting or anything coming up in 2025?
I would just encourage people to keep your eye on shoresandislands.com, and you will continue to find out about a lot of things that you of course already know about the area. But I promise that every time somebody goes to that website, they're going to find out something new that they didn't know about the Shores and Islands, Ohio region, something new to enjoy, and that's for visitors from outside the area and our local residents too. It's here for everybody, of course, and for me and for you to enjoy. So.
Can't wait to get out and enjoy all of those fun new things. That's kind of one of those things that makes our job so much fun, is that we get to share all of this with all of our listeners.
Yeah, so in fact, I'm going to ride Siren's Curse with you, Jill. How about that? We're going to ride that together.
All of our listeners know that's a lie, because I've already mentioned in our previous episode with Tony Clark from Cedar Point that I will be watching everybody ride Siren's Curse. Well, I'll hold the bags.
Somebody needs to be the holder and the photographer. So, all right, take my picture then.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much, Larry.
My pleasure.
Now, please enjoy some short interviews with several partners who stopped by to chat with us at our annual meeting. We asked them to share their stories with us and how their partnership with Shores and Islands, Ohio has benefited their business or organization. Please enjoy. Take a listen to Chris Varnier from Prime Hosting. Well, thank you for being here. And either why is tourism important to your business, or how has your partnership with Shores and Islands, Ohio affected your business?
Well, it's community building, first of all. I'm sort of a transplant to this area for about 10 years now, and seeing the community grow before my eyes, especially the downtown Sandusky area, and bringing people from outside that just think, well, it's just about Cedar Point. And it's really so much more. You know, obviously there was things we learned tonight, and I've been here for 10 years. And then the relationship with Shores and Island over the past year with me and my wife, who run the business together, we're small business owners, really welcoming and opening and helping us out and navigating through the online process, especially my wife, hours and hours online, and then getting everything right and answering all our questions. It's really been phenomenal.
Now please enjoy Cheryl Rose from Miller Boat Line.
Well, our partnership with Shores and Islands has definitely benefited our business in many ways. I mean, we are a recipient of the Destination Development Grant.
Congratulations.
And we partnership by doing the DTN ads.
Yes, you shared that with our partners at our meeting today, and that was fabulous. Thank you for sharing that, how beneficial that is to driving traffic to your website.
Absolutely. I mean, it's great that you guys have such a large reach with all of your visitors, and then we, by doing our ads, are able to target even closer to those people that we know are coming to our area, but then they see us and they're like, oh, Miller Ferry, great.
Next, we talk with Brooke Gammy from Quarry Hill Orchards.
You know, I was thinking as Larry was rattling off these anniversaries for certain businesses, I remember dropping off small tricolor folded yellow paper copies of our events to the visitors districts, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So we've been a long partner. I think every year I learn all the different ways you guys are supporting and leveraging the partners in our business. We were Destination Development Grant recipients.
Congratulations.
You guys helped us get our real fruit ice cream project
Which
off
is
the ground.
delicious, by the way.
So we're so grateful for that. We're still wrapping up some of our projects. But we've been featured on your blog, and Larry Fletcher has helped connect us.
And you've participated in the media marketplace, so we try to bring some content creators out, and we'll be over there again this year.
Totally. We've made some great connections with the media marketplace, and just, you guys are champions of small business owners, so we're just happy to be a part of the community.
Next, we'll speak with Karen Evans from the Arts Garage in Port Clinton.
We advertise upcoming events and classes that we have, exhibits as well, and we post those on the Shores and Islands portal every time. So we get visitors from there.
How does travel and tourism impact your business? Do you see a lot of visitors coming in, or is it mostly local? Is it a little mix of both?
It's a mix of both. We do get a lot of people who come up from Columbus. who visit us. We get a lot of people come across on the Jet Express who are waiting and come, because we are within eyesight of the Jet Express. Right? Yes, so that helps as well. But yeah, we do get a lot of tourists. We get people from all over the country and all over the world.
Do you happen to know what your hours will be for the summer season?
Yes, we are open Thursday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Let's chat with Christina Smith from the R.B. Hayes Presidential Library and Museums.
We have benefited so much with you guys. We have a fantastic partnership with you guys. You send so many people to us. You featured us on your website, social media. I've just learned so much from you guys to help promote us, which has been fantastic. You've had us on the podcast before. We got lots of hits from that. We've done giveaways with you. There's so many things. We've been part of package deals, just everything that you guys do to promote us. And again, I think a lot of it is just the learning. Like, you guys pass on so much knowledge and help promote the region in general. So you bring all these people in and they learn about us as well when they get here. So it's been amazing.
Next, please enjoy Christy Bilger from Downtown Fremont, Inc.
So we're a very active organization, been around since early 2000, and we joined this year because, as you mentioned in a lot of your podcasts, you have to not only reach people in your town and your area, but branch out. And so we just decided to get a bigger audience. We're doing a lot, over 100 events, and it was just a nice way to get more involved.
And I really like seeing a lot of your events on our calendar.
Yes.
It makes our calendar so much more robust
as
well.
Yeah.
And it's such an easy drive from the Shores and Islands area. It's a
Yeah.
quick little get away from the lake,
Yep.
get away from the crowds, but still find lots of fun things to do. I talked to a gentleman earlier that owns some restaurants in downtown Fremont, and I can't wait to come try so many of those restaurants.
Well, it's nice because you're 20 to 30 minutes max from the lake. We have a movie theater, first run movie theater, the only one in 2 counties. Mm-hmm. And, we've got 7 storefronts, an amphitheater.
I was just going to say, you have a newish amphitheater as well.
Yeah, it was just finished last year.
And then you're going to be on the podcast again in a couple of months. I can't wait to talk to you then.
Yep, excited. Lots going on.
Let's welcome in Lance Woodworth from Destination Toledo.
Absolutely love working with Shores and Islands, Ohio.
Because you're from here, right?
I'm a Northwest Ohio guy. Born and raised Norwalk area, school at Bowling Green.
Right.
I've lived in Marblehead for over 30 years.
419, represent.
419. But, in my role at Destination Toledo, another destination marketing organization, I lead a team that, we all try to drive visitation to Northwest Ohio and along our great area here on Lake Erie's western side, which I like to think is the best side. But we've got great opportunities to work with Shores and Islands, whether it be with the biggest week in American birding.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's something that we collaborate on annually. We both sponsor that amazing event because it takes place primarily at Maumee Bay State Park. That's kind of the host facility. But the birds don't care what county they're in, right? So the people that are visiting are all over the Northwest Ohio area. You've got some amazing metro parks and some amazing birding opportunities.
Oh, absolutely. When those birds migrate in the spring, the birders migrate along with them, right? But these birds or the birders don't care what county they're in.
Absolutely.
So, and I don't think our 2 organizations care. We work together. And really, it just allows us to shine a light on all the great things besides birding as well. I mean, we've got great parks from Sandusky, Huron, all the way over to the Toledo area that's drawing visitation in. Over 90,000 people over a 6-week period, $40 million economic impact. It's big fun. It's big business. But then we get to showcase the roller coaster capital of the world at Cedar Point, our great shores, great islands, all the great things happening in Toledo.
Quick little easy drive, right? If you're in Toledo for a conference, a convention, just a family visit, it's so easy. It's so easy to come over here and go to the islands.
It is so easy. And Jill, I do that drive every day because I live in Marblehead for the last 30 years, as I said. Yeah. And I enjoy, I have a game. It's called Count the Eagles and the Osprey that you see as you drive along the lakeshore. And I've seen
this time of year, you see tons.
I've seen up to 15 on that drive back and forth. So we're truly blessed to live.
That's an interesting card game, Lance.
Yeah, I guess it's safer than some things that you could be doing while driving. But no, we're just blessed, and I enjoy collaborating on that as well as just all the other fun that we have going on.
So, what exciting do you have on the pike for Toledo this year? Is there anything particularly exciting you're looking forward to in 2025?
Oh, gosh, I just love when the seasons change and we can get outside. You know, the Toledo Mud Hens baseball, it's hard to beat what's going on there. The activations along the waterfront. The ribbon, yes.
Such a huge new attraction for downtown Toledo. Tell me about that a little bit.
Yeah, so the ribbon, in the wintertime, it's a 1,000-foot frozen ice skating ribbon. Even on days where it's 55 degrees, it's refrigerated so we can still get out and skate.
Yeah.
In the summer, it turns into roller skating, rollerblading, ribbon. You've got a splash pad. The activations along the riverfront are just amazing right now. Toledo Pickle just opened. So
pickleball?
Think Top Golf, but for pickleball.
Okay.
What intrigues me is the 300-foot patio along the river with some outside bands in the summer that you can sit there. I'm not a big pickleball person, but I'll sit on a patio and watch the boats, and that'll be fun.
I'll eat pickles.
But so much going on that complements everything going on in the shores and islands.
Lastly, we got to chat with Wendy Chambers, Executive Director of the Put-in-Bay Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau.
Partnerships are so important, and I mentioned partnering with the state, Northwest Ohio, your county, but Shores and Islands, Ohio. What a gift to our area for me to have double promotion. I mean, think about that. I'm promoting, and Shores and Islands is promoting. Put-in-Bay's pretty lucky.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. Now, the Shores and Islands guide, you know, we do offer those pages to our members who then take us up on that, which helps to subsidize our page. It's a win-win situation for both of us.
And it really makes an impact in the section, right? I mean, when people are flipping through the Play and Stay guide, when they get to that island section, it's like, wow, look at all these things going on at Put-in-Bay.
And our full calendar.
Yep.
And a QR code to see the rest of that calendar because, 13 events isn't enough.
Absolutely. So I know we're going to have you on again later, and we've had you on the podcast before, but can you just tell me real quick, what are some of the big highlights you're looking forward to out on the island in 2025?
Well, we're going to have our third Pride Day in June, our third Ohio Islands Wine Festival in June.
And that's going to be at Heineman's Winery?
Yes, it'll be at Heineman's Winery again, I think the first winery in the state of Ohio.
We talked to Dustin and Donnie.
Donnie
last year about the event. So it's a fantastic, successful event. What else do you have coming up?
Well, our 51st Founders Day. And we all have to celebrate how we came to be. And that's what's
important to look back so that you can move forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
And tell me a little bit about Pirate Fest as well.
Oh, my goodness. I couldn't even tell you which one it is. We're 17 or 18?
Some Roman numeral.
Yeah, they always do Roman numerals. I got to stop and think.
Right.
But Pirates Fest is our family-friendly 2-day free festival. Mm-hmm. And we have pirates. And we have treasure hunts. And we had a magician last year. The mermaids.
A mermaid,
there.
Yep.
We have some vendors there, and then there's reenactments.
And I was going to say they're firing off cannons and they're having sword fights and all of the things.
Absolutely.
I actually had a content creator hit me up recently and say, "Wait a minute, I just saw there's a pirate festival at Put-in-Bay. Tell me more." So hopefully I'll be sending her your way.
I would love that. Or we can toot the horn about Pirate Fest, which was created for the families.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
Special thanks to all of those amazing partners in tourism for taking some time to stop and chat with us. And of course, thank you to Shores and Islands, Ohio President Larry Fletcher for talking with me about the event where we were able to gather those interviews. If you'd like to read more about our 2024 highlights, you can find those under the About Us tab at shoresandislands.com. A reminder that all of May's episodes of The Shoreline are brought to you by Ghostly Manor and Goofy Golf, so extra special thanks to them for their continued support. And finally, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss a minute of the action here in Shores and Islands, Ohio. You can also find more information, including past episodes of the podcast, online at shoresandislands.com. We'll see you next time on The Shoreline.